Welcome to the sixth video in this series about social accountability in health professional education. My name is Mohamed Hassan Taha. I am a medical educationist and passionate about advancing population health through the social accountability in health professional education. In this video, we'll be talking about leadership for advancing social accountability in health professional education. And the session will be covering the social accountability in relation to the dynamics. We will revisit the definition within the context of leadership, examining some gaps related to leadership, essential to address them, exploring the levels for the leadership related to social accountability, essential leadership qualities to advance the social accountability, and apply key concepts and reflections based on your personal and institutional leadership action to promote the societal needs. Let us speak about this. This model or framework shows the relationship between the education system and the health system. And as you can see here in this screen, the population create need in two systems. There is the needs. The health system responds to the needs of the population by creating demands and then providing the service. And there is the need of healthcare providers based on the population needs. And similarly, the medical schools and health sciences schools develop their curriculum and student intake and all resources to address the population needs. Then create demand, and then they produce workforce to the labor market. And the labor market is connecting between the healthcare system and education system. So it's high time now not to work in silo or in isolation, and there should not be isolation between the education system and the healthcare system. This presentation is basically from the AMI guide that we published recently about leadership as catalyst for advancing social accountability in health professional education. I highly encourage you to read this AMI guide for more case studies related to leadership, and it's available online, open access. And also from the chapter that we have written in this book with Professor Ahmed Mahrizi from Canada related to governance and leadership for social accountability in health profession education. So let us revise the definition of social accountability. It's the obligation of medical school to direct their education, research, and service activities toward addressing the priority health concern of the community, region, and nation they serve. And this priority health concern is defined by the stakeholders, as we discussed earlier. Not only the medical schools, the stakeholders, including the other partners, the community, the graduates, the professionals, the healthcare system, the policymakers, and so on. And the core idea here is to align teaching, research, and service with most pressing needs of the community, of the society. And the expectations to produce social accountable graduates influence the policies through the research, relevant research, and form active community partnership. And the stakeholders, they should contribute to this. And it is a dynamic between the social accountable health professional education, producing social accountable graduates. They go and work in the health system where social accountable graduate practice, and then it lead to social accountable care delivery institutions, and where healthcare system align resource, policy, and service to address the priority health needs of the community. Then we have equity-oriented social accountable health care system focused on local populations needs. So recurring gaps in the implementation of social accountability. It's very important to stop here and to see this gap. Many medical schools actually they have social accountability in their mission, but they're struggling to implement it effectively because good intention often don't translate into action and outcome. And this may be because of leadership gap. A major barrier is fragmented leadership development. And as few institutions have a clear strategy to develop leaders who drive social accountability. Except few countries, and I will explain one of the successful countries that work on social accountability. through advancement in the leadership. And the focus on of program existing leadership programs often focus on administrative skills and personal triad rather than leading system change and system thinking approach and then social responsiveness. And there is lack of framework. Until recently, there has been lack of practical framework linking the leadership training to the social accountability. Without guidance effort, then these things will remain superficial. A very important, we need to think about leadership as catalytic mechanism that turn institutions' social mission into tangible outcomes. And leaders make difference between goals and real impact. And we need to think about how we can shape directions and culture. As leadership shape the strategic vision, institutional culture, curriculum reform, stakeholder relationship, and research priorities. These are very crucial in social accountability. Intentional and value-driven social accountability leadership must be intentional, evidence informed, and grounded values for leadership development and training. And we should have a change in our mindset beyond administration. And here leadership isn't just administrative authority, chancellor, dean, vice dean, chair of the department, director of centers, and so on. No, it is a transformative role or transformative force that engage and inspire others to fulfill the school social accountability mandate. To understand this very well, we need to think about the leadership at the three levels. At individual level, by thinking about competent change agents, faculty, students, graduates. Institutional levels, we need to establish the enabling mechanism. System level, supportive level, we need to create the environment that advocate for or as systemic enablers. And again, we need to remind ourselves, we need to graduate physicians and healthcare professionals, those who not only must not just fit into the broken system, they must fix and change this broken system. And several leadership models that we available in the literature can serve in advancing social accountability. Let us start with the transformational leadership models and visionary change model-oriented leadership. Those leadership models, or those with these leadership qualities, they can inspire a shared vision and drive systemic change rather than maintaining the status quo of the organization. Adaptive leadership, those with responsive and collaborative approach, leaders they can navigate the complex change environment, and this is very relevant in health professional education and healthcare system, with flexibility, learning, and stakeholder alignment. We need to have also quality of leaders with servant leadership style, and they need to put community first mindset. And leaders here, they should prioritize the needs of others, especially the most vulnerable community, the students from underserved population, and so on, over their own authority as leaders. We need also to have a collaborative approach and collaborative leadership in which the power is distributed with partnership. And those quality of leaders, they need to focus on building inclusive partnership and share governance across the different sectors. Let us remind ourselves that we need, again, to redefine the excellence, because excellence should be measured by societal impact rather than the existing standards of measuring the excellence. And let us think about how we can integrate these different layers and approach. The first thing that we need to have a blended styles of leadership, because effective social accountability leaders often combine multiple leadership models depending on the situation, because it needs situational leadership. For example, a dean might be using transformative leadership style in setting the bold vision of the medical school with the stakeholder. Then he or she can use adaptive leadership style when navigating in crisis of the medical school. Then we use servant leadership style when dealing with marginalized group or underserved population. Then maybe using a collaborative styles in building partnership. So all in one role. Let us think about micro level of the community. Leaders facilitate community-driven decision in education and service delivery. And this could mean involving community representative in the curriculum, in the college, in the board, advisory board, and so on. At meso level, institutional and regional level, leaders coordinate and align with the stakeholder. And within the medical school and the regional partners, they can embed social accountability practice. And this might align teaching hospitals with the medical school, admissions, regional forums, conferences, and so on. And at macro level, system level, leaders can act as a champion for systemic change. And they advocate, for example, for policy reform at system level, changing the accreditation standard through the national committees. And this is very important because at this level, leadership might involve national or international influence on the social accountability at country level or at regional level. It's very important for the leader to have a strategic vision, and this is very obvious in their ability to anticipate community needs and set clear, proactive vision for that. So the leaders here, they need to align goals with the future health of the community and inspiring the innovation here. Ethical integrity is very important because commitment to be transparent, fair in decision, aimed at community benefit first. And here, by doing so, the leaders will build trust by consistently doing the right of the patient and the community, and therefore they are holding the institutional accountable to the social mission. This is very important. Collaborative spirit should be there in the medical school. Skill in engaging diverse stakeholders through shared decision making, and such leaders, they actively engage input from students, from faculty members, from the community, from the partners, ensuring that solutions are comprehensive and jointly owned, and this will build the ownership. Very important for the leaders to develop adaptive and innovative mindset, and they should have a willingness to be flexible and embrace new methods to meet evolving challenge. So the social accountability leaders are not stuck in old way, in classical way. No, they should encourage experimentations, leading and creating creative problem solving and addressing emerging health needs effectively. They should also have a mindset of openness, listening, and self-awareness, and this is related to humility and reflexibility. And social accountable leaders, they should value all voices equally, especially from the community members and students, and acknowledge that they don't have all the answer as a leader. They should have effective communications with the ability to clearly articulate goals, progress, and success with the stakeholder. They should be able to develop leaders because leaders develop leaders. So they should have mentorship and capacity building, and this is very important. And they should create structured mentorship programs in their medical and health sciences school. Also, quality of the leaders that can foster social accountability, they should have evidence-driven and discipline with the commitment to data-informed decision-making and follow through. So such type of leaders, they should gather and use evidence to guide actions and measure societal impact. And one of the successful countries across the world is Canada, in which they can be used as a good example of advancing social accountability from, as you can see here, from the report of social accountability in 1995 till you can see all efforts. They have developed their own report, then network, they create a network, and then they come with the Association of Faculty of Medicine report, and then they work on the accreditation standard, and then they work on developing strategic plan and so on. And you can find detail about this in the AME guide related to leadership and social accountability. So what are the key strategies for leaders to advance social accountability? The first one is align vision with the community needs. This is very important. So co-creations. Then establishing inclusive engagement. So we need the leader to set up continuous mechanisms for community and stakeholder engagement. Design enabling structure, developing inclusive governance structure and partnership with the community. The organizational structures of the medical schools and university need to be revisited to include the community as part of the planning, delivery, assessment, and evaluation of social accountability. And they need to invest in leadership development, integrate leadership training in all levels, from students need to be trained in leadership to faculty, administrative, and higher authority. To do this, a change management plan that need to be considered. And one of the best change management approach that can be used to advance social accountability is using appreciative inquiry model. Because in appreciative inquiry model, you build on the positive things that are existing in the organization. And this is a 5D model. Start with the define, the issue, then discover what is, then dream what could be, then design what should be, and here co-creation, and final delivery what will be. And these questions, if you can stop the video here and take a screenshot, these questions can be, you can use these questions as enablers to lead change through this. And I also encourage you to read the chapter related to appreciative inquiry models for social accountability available in this book. In a conclusion, leadership for social accountability, we need to think about from vision to action. And leadership should be considered as a driving force. And ultimately, leadership is an engine that turns social accountability from inspiration into reality. And visionary statements mean little without leaders to implement and sustain them. So we have seen how committed leaders produce concrete change in curriculum, partnership, and outcomes. And on the other hand, we have seen a very nice programs, colleagues, universities with a very nice mission in the website, but they didn't make any change in their community. Effective value-driven leadership is important because the future of social accountable education depends on effective value-driven leadership at every stage and every level. And by investing in such leadership, aligning structure, developing people, and insisting on accountability, then institution can achieve sustainable, equitable change and social accountability. The takeaway message here from this video: social accountability is not someone else. It is a mandate that we as a leader must champion. Whether you are a dean, shaping policy, faculty member, mentoring students, or policymakers setting a standard, your leadership can ensure health profession education truly serves the society. And the call to action, we should be a catalyst. Use insights and strategies discussed today in this video to inspire action in your context, in your position. Start a conversation about social accountability at your school, at your hospital, at your educational, at your residency program. Lead new community partnership or push for systemic support. Small or large, your leadership action can spark the change that lead to a healthier and equitable society. Again, the main aim of medical education is to improve the population health rather than to focus on the technicality related to teaching and learning and assessment. Thank you so much for watching these videos and the series of videos related to social accountability in medical education.